I think a lot of you who have seen me here on my YouTube channel know where I stand on the whole debate of physical products to download or not download, or to Spotify or not Spotify, or whatever the heck you're doing. And this is a debate that's still going on, and it's a debate that I'm tired of, actually. But you know, I stand on the side of physical product. I've downloaded things just to hear how it sounds, but if I like it, I want to buy it. And I'm doing this because there's a lot of articles out there right now. If you'll have one article out there telling you how vinyl has come back and vinyl is back. But then you'll have another article to counter that, telling you that, oh, even though people say vinyl's back, vinyl is only at such and such percent compared to what it was at its highest in 1976. Well, you know, that may be true. Another factor that a lot of people aren't taking a look at is how much used vinyl is being sold right now. My whole opinion here on this is the fact that I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe in a couple of conspiracies. One, of course, the Kennedy assassination, but that's another story. We're not going to get into that. But I do believe in conspiracies when it comes to the music industry and when it comes to fudging the numbers. Now, as far as physical product, I like vinyl, I like records, I like CDs. Records and CDs. When it comes to the whole numbers thing, don't forget, CDs were forced upon us. CDs were forced upon us a number of ways. CDs came out, they were hyped up, we were told that there's no distortion, they don't skip, little did you know. And, you know, they're shiny and whatnot, and they're compact, you know, they're a lot smaller than a record. And CDs, vinyl sales, to me the theory on why vinyl sales dropped back then is because the record labels stopped making vinyl. They sort of went, we're going CD only, people, CD only. And a lot of things, at least domestically in America, were not available on vinyl. I remember when it was big news when Paul McCartney's Off the Ground came out. It was not going to be issued on vinyl. At least in America. I know there were some European copies and things like that, but domestically in America it was only available on CD. So a lot of companies, a lot of artists went CD only. So you were only forced to get them on CD. So no wonder why vinyl sales dropped, in my opinion. And we can talk about the whole Napster thing, how Napster destroyed the music industry, and Napster won for free music and all this other stuff. I think there were a variety of factors there. I mean, there's a new Tower documentary out right now that talks about how there were a number of factors that contributed to Tower's actually closing. But downloading does not appeal to me. It's not exciting to me. I get no gratification from going to Spotify or going to Beats Music and taking a screenshot of what I'm listening to. It does absolutely nothing for me. I do not get gratification. Sure, I could pull up an album and listen to it whenever I want to. Oh, yippee. It does nothing for me. Now, if it does something for you, that's perfectly fine. But this is the equivalent of how people keep books on a shelf. Well, I keep my albums on a shelf. I keep my Blu-rays on a shelf. I keep my CDs on a shelf. They're my books, if that makes any sense, if you know what I'm talking about. But it angers me whenever a positive report comes out stating that a form of physical product is back and is coming back. Every year vinyl has made more and more inroads. And then you get another article about, oh, well, it's a trendy thing. Well, it's a hipster thing. Well, I'm not a hipster. And once I got back into buying vinyl again, I've gone full steam ahead. And don't get me wrong, I still love my CDs as well, and I still buy CDs. I mean, this. A record. Getting a record Opening up and playing it and dropping it on the turntable. Looking at the artwork gives me enjoyment. CDs gave me plenty of enjoyment, and still do, when I was in Chicago and I'd go to Tower Records downtown, buy a CD, open the package on the subway, look at the liner notes, study the lyrics. That gave me excitement, and I couldn't wait to get home. I would have the release date marked on a calendar for a band I liked at the time. At the time, it was a lot of Smashing Pumpkins. I'd have the release date. Melancholy and Infinite Sadness is coming out on this date. I'm going to go and buy it on this date. And growing up, me and my friend, we would listen to an album from beginning to end, and we would kind of talk about it afterwards, what we liked about it. Nowadays, it's just a matter of phony convenience. You know, if people could stand in line for a flippin' iPhone or whatever, what's the problem of calling Amazon.com? And don't tell me, it's hard for me to believe that the numbers are what they are when they talk about the numbers. All you got to do is go to Amoeba Records in Hollywood or San Francisco on a Saturday afternoon and see wall-to-wall people buying stuff. They're not downloading, they're buying stuff. They are spending hours and hours and hours looking at the stuff, and it's a community. I mean, I'm not knocking if you like to Spotify. I'm not, Spotifying is not for me. I've tried it, I've done it occasionally, I've downloaded occasionally from iTunes. All it does is makes me want to buy the physical product then. That's what it does for me. And don't talk to me about downloading for free. If there's one thing I think the industry should have done, I think they should have found a way to embrace free downloading. Provide the album for a limited time for free on the internet, because I firmly believe that if people download it for free and they like what they hear, they're going to want to buy the physical album. I used to do that. It's no different than when I used to tape albums from a friend of mine. I would hear it. I'd have that TDK 60-minute or 90-minute cassette with maybe 2 albums on it. And this isn't working for me anymore. I need to grow up now. I need to buy the physical album. I need to have that gatefold sleeve. I need to see the lyrics. This is something that I get enjoyment out of. But I firmly believe, just like with the industry wanting to go CD only exclusively, they want people to stream. They're trying to push streaming movies on Netflix. They're trying to go that route more and more. A number of reasons. It's less quality. It's cheaper for them. But they could jack up the price for us, the consumer. They did it with CDs. I mean, CDs were supposed to go down to the price of what record albums were at the time when the industry converted over. $8.99, $9.99, around there. $7.99. Instead, and I worked in retail for a while there, the prices just started getting more and more and more. $18.99, sometimes $20.99 for a single CD. $30 for a double, sometimes $40. I've seen it. I priced them. But now think about it. Back during the days of vinyl, of records, you had pressing plants. And pressing plants were union jobs. They were factories. A pressing plant was probably about the size of a Walmart. And you had people there working in the pressing plants. It was a factory job, an assembly line job, making decent money. What better way to cut the costs in that CD age? Shut down those plants, lay off the workers. And now with streaming and file sharing and MP3s, you could cut all that out right there just with the click of a button. So to me, it's cheaper. And I think a lot of us are getting drawn into this trap because the media says this is the way to go and this is the good way of doing it. We're going to jump on that bandwagon. So physical product is back in my eyes. Vinyl is back. But I'm getting tired of these articles about when you have somebody else in a business magazine sort of, forgive the term, poo-pooing it. And I have link to an article here from the New York Times about Starbucks getting rid of their CDs. And again, the writer saying, well, even though vinyl's back, it's still on its last legs and whatnot, so we are pretty much going to be file sharing and doing Spotify, and we're going to have to get used to it, and blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. I think it's a calculated move. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's calculated. I don't buy it, and I'm not going to buy it. I want my enjoyment, so why does my enjoyment have to be taken away? If you like Spotify, if you like the streaming and whatnot, you like having that less quality but paying more money for it, fine. And don't forget, there's a lot of other streaming companies coming up. Now you do have Beats Music, which Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails is involved in. Jay-Z just announced a big one right now, and he's got Alicia Keys and Daft Punk and Beyonce and Rihanna, Kanye all behind him on that one. But how's that going to go? Garth Brooks made big news a couple of months ago with Ghost Tunes, his streaming site. And it pretty much has been a ghost since he has announced it. Again, if it's your thing, bravo to you, but it's not my thing. I like the records. I like the CDs. I like to own and feel what I'm listening to. I like to have an experience. And I really hope you guys that aren't doing this will get around to having that experience too. Because it is an experience. And don't be brainwashed by the hype, what I call the hype machine that's out there. Because it is a hype machine in my eyes. That's my take. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it.